Book of Heaven, Volume 16, November 15th, 1923. In order to come to reign upon earth, the divine will wants to find one who would receive it, comprehend it, and love it for all. So did the celestial Mama in order to obtain the redemption. The creature is incapable of receiving the works of her Creator all at once. This is why she needs to receive minor things first, to dispose herself to receive greater ones. I felt as though sunken in the holy will of God, and it seemed to me that in my interior, my sweet Jesus amused himself very much in sending me light, and I felt as though eclipsed within that light. I felt my mind being filled so much that I could not contain it, to the point that I said, "Jesus, my heart, don't you know that I am little? I cannot contain what you want to put into my intelligence." And Jesus,
"Little daughter of mine, do not fear. Your Jesus will let you drink this light in sips so that you may receive it and comprehend it. Do you know what this light means? It is the light of my will. It is that divine will rejected by other creatures which, wanting to come to reign upon earth, wants to find someone who would receive it, comprehend it, and love it. In order to come and reign, it wants to find a little soul who would offer herself to receive all those acts which the Supreme Will had destined for each creature, to make them happy and holy, and to give them the goods it contains. Now, this happiness, sanctity, and goods which the Eternal Will issued in order to communicate them to the creature, as it issued the whole creation, are out and suspended. And if it does not find one who would receive them so as to give it all the homages, honors, and corteges that the other creatures have not given to it, it cannot come to reign upon earth. Therefore, your task is to embrace all generations in order to receive all the acts of the Supreme Will that they rejected, together with all the goods it contains. If you do not do so, my eternal will cannot put itself in feast to come and reign. It will have the tears of the past sorrow, of how ungratefully it was rejected, and one who cries does not reign. Therefore it wants that the acts of its volition destined for each creature receive reparation. And not only this, but it wants someone who, with love, wants to receive its happiness and what it contains.
And I, Jesus, my love, how can I do this? I am too little, and also a bad little one, and you know it. Even more, I fear I am unable to do it even for myself. How can I do it for others? And he again,
"This is precisely why I have chosen you and keep you little, so that you may do nothing by yourself, but always together with me. I too know that, little as you are good at nothing, at the most at making me smile with your little trifles. Therefore, your Jesus will take care of everything. This is necessary, just as it was necessary, so that I might come to accomplish the redemption, that a little daughter of ours, my Mama, take on as her task to receive within herself all the acts of our will rejected by creatures. She made them her own. She welcomed them with decorum. She loved them, repaired them, requited them, to the point of filling their whole expanses as much as is possible for a creature. So, when the divinity saw in this little one its will for creation reintegrated, not only for herself, but for all others, it felt so drawn that in addition to the many acts of its will in creation, it emitted the greatest act, the most sublime, the most prodigious, that this little one be the one to be raised to the exclusive and unique dignity of mother of her very Creator. I, Eternal Word, could never have descended from heaven had I not found my will in her, reintegrated, just as we wanted it to be in the creature. What was then the cause that made me come upon earth, my will existing in a little creature? What did I care if she was little? All I cared about was that my will be safe in her, with no split on the part of her human will. Once our will was safe, all our rights were restored. The creature would place herself in order with her Creator, and the Creator would place himself in order with the creature. The purpose of creation was already fulfilled. Therefore we came to the deeds, that the Word would be made flesh, first to redeem man, and then so that our will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Ah, yes, it was my mama who, taking into herself the whole of our will issued for the good of creation, darted through the divinity with divine arrows in such a way that, wounded by our own arrows, the word was drawn into her womb like a powerful magnet. Nothing can we deny to one who possesses our will. See then the necessity for which I want another creature to offer herself to receive into herself all the acts of my will which I issued in creation, so as to give completion to that fiat which I came to bring upon earth, and which was welcomed and understood only by my mama. And this is why there was no division between me and her. The divinity wants to be wounded once again with its own darts, in order to give the generations this great good, that my will reign in them. Since this is the greatest thing it wants to give, the true origin of man, a human will is not enough to impetrate it, and even less to wound the divinity. But it takes a divine will with which the soul, filling herself with it, may wound her Creator with his own arrows, in such a way that, wounded, he may open the heavens and let his will descend upon earth. More so, since he will find his noble cortege, all the acts of his will lined up in the creature who has snatched from him this solemn act, that his will come to reign on earth with its complete triumph.
On hearing this, I said to him, "My beloved good, your speaking confounds me. Even more, it annihilates me, to the point that I feel like a little newborn whose members are not yet well formed, and therefore it is necessary to swaddle her. And while swaddling clothes are necessary to me so that I may be formed, you want to unswaddle me, but to do what? To make me stretch out my little baby hands and embrace your eternal will. My Jesus, don't you see? I cannot reach, I cannot grab it, I am too little. And besides, if it pleases you so much that your will reign upon earth, why have you waited so long? And why, when you came upon earth, did you not do both things yourself? That is, the redemption and the fiat voluntas tua on earth as it is in heaven. You had strong and long arms to be able to embrace your endless will. See, O Jesus, mine are weak and short. How can I do that?" And he again,
Poor little child, you are right. My speaking confounds you, the light of my will eclipses you and renders you the true newborn of the supreme will. Come into my arms. I will swaddle you with the swaddling clothes of my own will, that it may strengthen your members with its strength. In this way it will be easy for you to clasp in your little arms that eternal will which, with so much love, wants to come and reign within you.
So I flung myself into his arms to let Jesus do to me whatever he wanted. Then again he added,
I could very well have done both things myself when I came upon earth, but the creature is not capable of receiving the work of her Creator all at once, and I myself delight in giving always new surprises of love. And besides, the creature had profaned her taste with her own will. She had caused the breath of her soul to stink with so many ugly things as to be disgusting to me. She had reached the point of having a taste for the most revolting things, to the point of letting a rotten fluid flow over the three powers of her soul, such that her nobility could no longer be recognized. Therefore, first I had to take care of all this with my redemption, giving her all the remedies, giving all these evils the bath of my blood in order to wash them. Had I wanted to do both things, since man was so dirty, blind and deaf, rendered so by his human will, he would not have had the eyes of the intelligence to comprehend my will, nor the ears to listen to it, nor the heart to receive it. And my will, not being understood and finding no place in which to dwell, would have turned back to heaven again. Therefore, it was necessary that man comprehend the goods of redemption first, so as to dispose himself to comprehend the good of the fiat voluntas tua on earth as it is in heaven. The same would have happened with you also, if at the beginning, when I began to speak to you, I had spoken to you about my will, you would not have understood. I would have behaved like a teacher who, instead of teaching the first letters of the alphabet to his disciple, wanted to teach him sciences and foreign languages. Poor boy, he would get confused and would learn nothing. Instead, I wanted to speak to you of suffering, of the virtues, things which are more accessible and more tangible for human nature, and which can be called the alphabet of the Christian life, the language of the exile and of those who aspire to the celestial fatherland. On the other hand, my will is the language of heaven, and it begins there where all other sciences and virtues end. My will is queen, which dominates everything and crowns everyone, in such a way that before the sanctity of my will, all other virtues shrink and tremble. This is why I wanted to act as your teacher of the alphabet first, to dispose your intelligence, to then move on to act as your celestial and divine teacher, who only knows about the language of the fatherland and of the highest science which my will contains. First, I had to remove from you the taste for anything, because the human will has this poison. It makes one lose taste for the divine will. In all created things, since they had come out of me, I had placed a divine taste. But by doing her will, even in holy things, the soul does not find this taste. So, in order to let you enjoy the taste of my will alone, I am attentive not to let you taste anything else, that I may dispose you to receive more sublime lessons about my will. If this was necessary for you, more so for the whole church, to which I had to make known the minor things first, and then the greatest of all, which is my will.
Thank you for being a part of our community here at Divine Will app. If you enjoy listening to Jesus' lessons on how to live in the divine will, please give this video a thumbs up. Your likes help us reach more souls yearning to live in the kingdom of the divine will. We'd love to hear your thoughts and reflections, so drop a comment below. Your insights not only enrich our community, but also inspire others on their spiritual journey. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. By joining us, you're helping to spread the news of the kingdom of the divine will, so that together we can bring His kingdom to reign on earth as it is in heaven. In the divine will, always.